There are moments in life when people will deliberately try to hurt you. Sometimes with words, sometimes with actions, sometimes with silence. And the first instinct for most of us is to react. We raise our voice, we argue, we defend, we attack back. But let me ask you something. Has reacting ever really healed the wound? Or does it just create a deeper scar? You see, reacting is like pouring gasoline on a small spark. Instead of dying out, it grows into a fire. And that fire doesn't just burn the other person, it burns you from the inside. But when you refuse to react, you are choosing strength over weakness. You are telling yourself, I will not give someone else the power to control my peace. Think of it this way. If someone hands you a gift and you don't accept it, who does it stay with? The giver. The same applies to anger, insults, and negativity. If someone throws them at you and you don't accept them, they remain with that person. Their darkness stays with them while your light remains untouched. Life is too short to give energy to every insult and every opinion. Not everyone will like you. Not everyone will agree with you. And not everyone will treat you with kindness. But how you choose to respond, that's where your real power lies. Reaction is easy, but restraint requires wisdom. When you stay calm, you don't just protect your peace. You also surprise people. Because they expect you to fight back, to argue, to lose control. But when you don't, it reflects that you live from a place of strength, not insecurity. Remember, your value is not determined by someone else's words. A diamond remains a diamond, even if someone calls it a stone. And your worth remains untouched, even when people fail to recognize it. Don't waste your energy proving yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. The next time someone tries to hurt you, pause, breathe, remind yourself, this is their storm, not mine. I don't have to enter it. Smile if you can, walk away if you must. But never let their darkness dim your light. Because at the end of the day, peace is not found in controlling others. Peace is found in mastering yourself. And the one who does not react is the one who truly wins. There will always be moments in life when someone says something or does something with the intention of hurting you. Sometimes it's obvious. They insult you directly, they mock you, they try to embarrass you in front of others. And sometimes it's subtle. They ignore you, they dismiss your efforts, they speak behind your back. Whatever form it takes, the hurt is real. But the bigger question is, how do we respond? Most of us are conditioned to react. The moment someone raises their voice, we raise ours even higher. If someone insults us, we immediately look for a sharper insult to throw back. If someone tries to put us down, we instinctively want to lift ourselves up by pushing them even lower. It's like a natural reflex. But the truth is, reacting like this never really brings peace. It might give us a temporary sense of victory, but afterward, we often feel drained, guilty, or even more hurt than before. Think about this carefully. When you react in anger, are you in control, or is the other person in control? If someone's words can trigger you to lose your calm, to shout, to fight, to break your peace, then who really has the power? You or them. The moment you react, you hand over your emotional remote control to the very person who tried to hurt you. It's like saying, here, you decide how I should feel. And that's a dangerous kind of slavery, because your peace no longer belongs to you. It belongs to someone else's mood, someone else's opinion, someone else's action. But imagine the opposite. Imagine someone throws harsh words at you, and instead of reacting, you pause, you breathe, you choose silence or you choose calmness. In that moment, you are not losing, you are winning. Because you are saying, I will not let you dictate my peace. I am in charge of my inner world. That is strength. That is freedom. Let me share a simple story. A wise monk once sat quietly while a man hurled insults at him for several minutes. He called him names, mocked his lifestyle, ridiculed everything he believed in. But the monk didn't react. After some time, the man, exhausted, asked, Why aren't you responding? Why aren't you defending yourself? The monk smiled and said, If someone offers you a gift and you don't accept it, Where does it stay? With the giver. In the same way, I choose not to accept your anger and insults. They remain with you. This story may sound simple, but it carries a profound lesson. People will always have opinions. Some will love you, some will hate you, some will admire you, and some will despise you. But none of that has to define your peace. Just because someone throws negativity doesn't mean you must catch it. Not every ball thrown at you needs to be caught. Some you just let fall to the ground. That's wisdom. Now let's get practical. The challenge is that in the heat of the moment, it's not easy to stay calm. Your ego wants to defend itself. Your pride wants to fight back. Your emotions want to explode. So how do you actually train yourself not to react? It begins with awareness. The next time you feel triggered, instead of instantly responding, pause for a few seconds. Literally count in your mind, 1, 2, 3. That tiny gap is powerful. In that pause, you're telling yourself, I have a choice. I don't have to let this person control me. And in that moment, you shift from reaction to response. Reaction is impulsive. Response is thoughtful. Reaction is driven by emotion. Response is guided by wisdom. When you pause, you remind yourself, their words are about them, not me. Their anger reflects their pain, not my worth. This mindset saves you from unnecessary battles that drain your energy. I often say that reacting to negativity is like wrestling with a pig. You both get dirty, but the pig actually enjoys it. In life, some people want to drag you into the mud of arguments, gossip, and drama. But you don't have to go there. The moment you choose peace over reaction, you win. Because nothing disarms negativity faster than calmness. Think about the strongest people you admire. Leaders, teachers, spiritual guides, mentors. Are they the ones who scream the loudest? Are they the ones who argue the hardest? Or are they the ones who remain composed even in the middle of chaos? Strength is not about how loud you can be. It's about how centered you can stay when others try to shake you. There's also a deeper spiritual truth here. When you react to someone, you mirror their energy. If they are angry and you become angry, you have simply become a reflection of them. But when you stay calm, you are reflecting something higher. You are showing that you live from values, not from impulses. In that sense, every test of your patience is also an opportunity to show your growth. Let me put it another way. Imagine you're walking through a market holding a glass of water. Someone bumps into you and water spills out. Why did water spill? Because you were carrying water. If you had been carrying juice, juice would have spilled. If you had been carrying tea, tea would have spilled. The point is, what comes out of you when life bumps you depends on what's inside you. If you're filled with anger, anger spills out. If you're filled with peace, peace spills out. When people try to hurt you, they are bumping into you. What spills out is your choice. So instead of filling yourself with resentment, fill yourself with calmness. Instead of filling yourself with revenge, fill yourself with forgiveness. Because ultimately, people don't control what's inside you, you do. And the more you practice this, the stronger you become. Some might say, but if I don't react, doesn't that make me weak? Doesn't that mean people will walk all over me? Not at all. Refusing to react doesn't mean you tolerate abuse. It doesn't mean you never speak up. It means you choose when and how to respond. It means you don't let someone's bad behavior pull you into their level. You address situations with clarity, not with chaos. Silence can often speak louder than words. Walking away can often show more strength than standing and fighting. And sometimes responding later, when you are calm, has more impact than reacting instantly when you are angry. The point is not to suppress your feelings, but to master them. At the end of the day, ask yourself, what do you really want in life? Do you want to win arguments? Or do you want to live in peace? Do you want to prove people wrong? Or do you want to protect your inner joy? Because every time you react to negativity, you're giving away your peace as a price. And that price is too high to pay. So the next time someone tries to hurt you, remember this. You cannot control what they do, but you can control what you do. You cannot control their words, but you can control your silence. You cannot control their actions, but you can control your response. And in that choice lies your true power. Don't waste your life fighting battles that don't matter. Don't spend your days arguing with people who don't want to understand you. Don't throw away your peace over words that will be forgotten tomorrow. Instead, guard your heart, guard your mind, guard your peace. Because peace is more valuable than pride. Peace is more valuable than proving someone wrong. And peace is what makes life truly beautiful. So the lesson is simple but profound. Never react when people try to hurt you. Let them keep their negativity. Let them wrestle with their own darkness. You rise above. You stay calm. You protect your peace. Because the one who doesn't react is not weak. They are the strongest of all. Every day, knowingly or unknowingly, people hand us gifts. Some gifts are sweet, words of encouragement, appreciation, love, and support. These are easy to accept. They lift us up. But there are other gifts too: anger, criticism, jealousy, mockery, and hatred. And for some strange reason, we often accept these negative gifts more quickly than the positive ones. Someone compliments us and we brush it off saying, "Oh, it's nothing." But when someone insults us, we hold on to it for days, weeks, sometimes years. Isn't it interesting how much more weight we give to the negative? But here's the truth. Just because someone hands you something doesn't mean you have to take it. If I try to give you a gift and you don't accept it, who does it stay with? It stays with me. The same principle applies to negativity. If someone tries to dump anger, insults, or hatred on you, and you refuse to accept it, where does it stay? With them, not with you. This is one of the most liberating truths of life. You don't have to carry what others throw at you. You don't have to take ownership of someone else's bitterness. You are not a dumping ground for another person's unresolved pain. You can choose to leave that package unopened. Think of it this way. Imagine you're walking down the street and someone tries to hand you a bag of garbage. Would you take it? Would you hug it to your chest and carry it home? Of course not. You'd say, "No, thank you. That doesn't belong to me." So why do we accept emotional garbage so easily? Why do we allow people's harsh words, mean looks, and toxic behavior to sit inside us and poison our peace? One reason is that we confuse rejection with weakness. We think if we don't defend ourselves, we're being passive. But rejecting negativity is not about weakness, it's about wisdom. It takes great strength to say, "I will not let this enter my heart. I will not let this control my mind." It's not passive, it's powerful. Let me share a story. A teacher once asked his students to carry a sack of potatoes wherever they went. Each potato represented a negative memory or a grudge they were holding against someone. At first, it didn't seem like a big deal. But after days of carrying that sack, it became heavy, smelly, and unbearable. Finally, the teacher explained, "This is what happens when you carry insults and grudges in your heart. The weight grows heavier, and it starts to stink. The only way to live free is to drop the sack." That's what happens when we accept negativity. We carry it around, and it begins to rot inside us. It steals our joy, our focus, and our energy. But when we refuse to accept it, we remain light. We remain free. Now, rejecting negativity doesn't mean pretending it never happened. It doesn't mean you deny the hurt. It means you acknowledge what was said or done, but you choose not to internalize it. You choose not to let it define you. You say, "This is their pain, not mine. This is their issue, not mine. I will not wear this burden." But the truth is, most negativity that comes your way has very little to do with you. When someone lashes out, it's often a reflection of their own frustration, insecurity, or unhappiness. They're not really angry at you. They're angry at themselves, their circumstances, their past. You just happen to be the nearest target. If you accept their anger, you make their problem your problem. But if you refuse to take it, you leave it where it belongs, with them. Let me make this practical. How do you actually reject negativity in real life? The first step is awareness. Notice when someone is trying to hand you emotional garbage. Don't just react, recognize what's happening. The second step is distance. Not every comment deserves your response. Not every provocation deserves your attention. Sometimes silence is the loudest rejection. And the third step is perspective. Remind yourself, this is not about me. This is about them. That shift in perspective protects your heart from unnecessary wounds. We live in a world where people will project their fears, their failures, and their frustrations onto us. They will say things that are unfair, unkind, and untrue. But your job is not to absorb their projection. Your job is to protect your energy. It's like walking in the rain. You can't stop the rain from falling, but you can choose to carry an umbrella. And your umbrella is your awareness, your wisdom, your decision not to take in what doesn't belong to you. Now, some might argue, but if I don't accept it, won't people keep throwing negativity at me? The reality is, people may never stop. But the more you practice this, the less it affects you. Their words lose their power when they no longer find a home inside you. It's like trying to light a fire on water. It simply won't catch. And here's something important. Rejecting negativity doesn't mean rejecting people. You can still love people, but refuse to accept their toxic behavior. You can still care for them, but set boundaries. In fact, setting boundaries is one of the healthiest ways to reject negativity. You're not shutting people out, you're shutting toxicity out. Let's go even deeper. Many times, the negativity we struggle with isn't from strangers. It comes from people close to us, family, friends, colleagues. That makes it harder because we care about their opinion. But even then, the principle is the same. Their negativity is their gift, not yours. Just because it comes from someone you love doesn't mean you have to accept it. You can acknowledge their pain, empathize with their struggles, and still refuse to let their bitterness live inside you. And what about self-negativity? Sometimes we are our own worst critics. We insult ourselves, we belittle ourselves, we carry old mistakes like they're tattoos on our soul. In that case, the gift giver and the receiver are the same person. But even then, you can choose to reject it. You can choose to say, I am not my mistakes. I am not my failures. I am not the harsh voice in my head. I will not accept this gift of self-doubt. The key is to live lightly. Life is too short to carry bags of garbage that don't belong to you. If someone hands you anger, let it drop. If someone hands you hatred, let it drop. If someone hands you envy, let it drop. Not everything offered to you is meant to be received. So the next time someone tries to hurt you with their words or actions, remember this truth. You are not obligated to accept what they give. Just like you wouldn't take a bag of trash into your living room. Don't take the negativity into your heart. Let it stay with them. Leave it where it belongs. Because when you stop accepting negativity, something amazing happens. You create space. Space for love. Space for growth. And that space is what makes life worth living. So here's the challenge for you. This week, pay attention to the gifts being offered to you. When someone offers kindness, accept it fully. Let it nourish you. But when someone offers negativity, pause. Smile if you can, and say silently to yourself, this doesn't belong to me. I choose not to take it. In that moment, you will feel something powerful. A sense of freedom, a lightness in your heart. Because rejecting negativity is not just about avoiding pain. It's about protecting your peace, preserving your joy, and living life on your terms. Never forget this negativity is only powerful if you accept it. But when you let it go, you remain untouched, unharmed, and unshaken. And that, my friend, is true strength. In life, one of the biggest mistakes we make is believing that our worth depends on what others think of us. We grow up conditioned to seek approval. Approval from parents, from teachers, from friends, from society. And when that approval is missing, we begin to doubt ourselves. We start asking, am I good enough? Am I worthy? Do I matter? But here's a truth I want you to hold on to. Your worth does not change based on someone else's opinion. Just because people fail to see your value doesn't mean it's not there. Think of a diamond. If someone looks at it and says, "This is just a shiny stone," does that opinion reduce the diamond's value? Of course not. The diamond remains a diamond whether or not someone recognizes its worth. And you remain valuable whether or not others acknowledge it. But why do we forget this? Why do we allow people's words to shape the way we see ourselves? It's because we hand over our self-worth to others like a fragile package, hoping they will protect it. We place our identity in their hands, expecting them to handle it with care. But people are imperfect. Some will drop it, some will mishandle it, some will even try to crush it. And if our sense of value depends on them, then every insult, every rejection, every moment of neglect will feel like proof that we are not enough. This is why we must anchor our worth to something deeper, something unshakable, something that cannot be taken away. Your worth comes from within. It comes from the fact that you are unique, unrepeatable, and irreplaceable. Out of billions of people on this planet, there is not a single person exactly like you. Your experiences, your perspective, your journey, no one else has that. That alone makes you valuable beyond measure. Think of it this way. If you take a 100 bill and crumple it, is it still worth 100? Yes, if you step on it, if it gets dirty, if it's thrown aside, does its value decrease? No, it remains the same. In the same way, life may crumple you. People may step on you. Situations may make you feel worthless. But your true value does not diminish. It's just hidden under the dust of temporary circumstances. I once heard a story of a father who wanted to teach his son a lesson about self-worth. He gave him an old watch that had been in the family for years. He said, "Take this to the watch shop and ask how much it's worth." The boy went and the shopkeeper said, "Maybe 50 due. It's old." Then the father said, "Take it to the pawn shop." The boy went and there they offered 20. Finally, the father told him to take it to a museum. When the curators saw the watch, they said, "This is a rare piece. It's worth thousands." The father then told his son, "The right place recognizes your true value. Don't stay where people can't see your worth." The same is true for all of us. Sometimes the people around us cannot recognize our value, not because it isn't there, but because they don't have the eyes to see it. If you surround yourself with people who belittle you, you may start believing you are small. But if you place yourself in the right environment, with people who respect and uplift you, your value shines. That's why it's so important to choose carefully where you spend your energy, your time, and your heart. But let's be honest, no matter where we go, there will always be someone who misunderstands us, someone who criticizes, someone who doubts. And that's okay. You can't control how others see you, but you can control how you see yourself. You can choose to hold on to your value even when others don't. Let me put this into perspective. Imagine you walk into a room holding a golden bar. One person might say, "Wow, that's priceless." Another might say, "It's heavy and useless." Another might not even notice it. But does their opinion change the nature of the gold? Not at all. And your worth is like that gold. It doesn't shrink because someone ignores it, and it doesn't grow because someone praises it. It simply is. Here's something even deeper. When we let others determine our worth, we give away our freedom. We become slaves to their approval. If they like us, we feel good. If they don't, we feel terrible. It's like living on a roller coaster of emotions controlled by the opinions of others. But when you root your worth in something eternal, in your values, in your uniqueness, in your inner strength, you find stability. You stop swinging back and forth based on what others say. And here's the beauty of it. When you realize your worth is untouchable, you begin to live differently. You stop begging for validation. You stop lowering your standards to be accepted. You stop chasing people who don't respect you. Instead, you begin to live authentically, boldly, and freely. You give your best not because you're desperate for approval, but because it's who you are. You shine your light not because you want applause, but because light was meant to shine. Now, does that mean you should ignore all feedback? Not at all. Feedback helps us grow. Criticism can sometimes be constructive. But there's a difference between learning from feedback and losing yourself in it. Listen to what people say, take what helps you improve, but never let their words define your identity. Growth is good, doubt is not. Sometimes we think, if only I achieve more, if only I earn more, if only I look better, then people will value me. But that's a trap, because no matter how much you do, someone will always find a reason to criticize. You could be the ripest, juiciest peach in the world, and there will still be someone who hates peaches. So stop trying to please everyone. Instead, focus on being true to yourself, because the right people will see your worth without you having to prove it. Let me share something personal. Many successful people, artists, leaders, entrepreneurs, were once rejected, doubted, even mocked. Some were told they'd never make it. Some were laughed at. But they didn't let those opinions define them. They held on to their inner worth. And eventually, the world caught up. What would have happened if they believed the doubters? Their greatness would have been buried under someone else's blindness. So I ask you, are you living as though your worth depends on others? Or are you living as though your worth is already secure? Because once you know your worth, you stop reacting to insults. You stop chasing approval. You stop being controlled by external voices. You begin to live with confidence, peace, and joy. Always remember, you are not what people say about you. You are not defined by your mistakes. You are not reduced by your failures. You are not diminished by someone's inability to see your greatness. You are valuable because you are you. That is enough. That has always been enough. So the next time someone tries to put you down, remind yourself their words are just noise. They don't define you. They don't touch your true value. And the next time you feel overlooked or unappreciated, remember your worth is not in the applause. It's in your authenticity. The world may not always recognize it immediately, but that doesn't change the truth. Your worth is untouchable. It's permanent. It's priceless. And the moment you realize this, you'll stop shrinking to fit into other people's opinions. You'll rise into the fullness of who you are. And when you live from that place, no insult can break you, no rejection can crush you, and no failure can erase you. Because just like a diamond remains a diamond, just like gold remains gold, you remain valuable, no matter what. One of the greatest illusions we carry in life is the idea that we can control other people. We try to control what they say, what they do, how they think, and how they treat us. And when they don't behave the way we expect, we get frustrated, disappointed, even angry. But here's the truth, you can't control others. You can only master yourself. And the person who learns to master their own emotions, their own thoughts, their own responses, that person is truly powerful. Think about how much of our stress comes from trying to manage other people. We want them to understand us, agree with us, respect us, appreciate us, love us exactly the way we love them. And when they don't, we feel hurt. But life becomes lighter the moment you realize you were never meant to control anyone else. That's their journey. Your journey is to control yourself. It's like trying to control the wind. You can't stop it, you can't direct it, you can't order it around. But you can adjust your sails. You can learn to navigate. The same goes for people. You can't force them to act the way you want, but you can decide how you respond to them. And that choice is where your true freedom lies. I want you to imagine a scenario. Someone insults you. What happens? If you've not mastered yourself, you react instantly, you lash out, you defend, you raise your voice. But in that moment, who's in control? They pressed a button, and you dance to their tune. But if you've mastered yourself, you pause, you take a breath. You think, I don't have to give them power over me. And then you choose your response. That doesn't mean you never speak up. It means you speak with wisdom instead of reacting with impulse. That's mastery. There's a story of a man who went to a martial arts master and asked, "How do you defeat your enemies?" The master replied, "By not allowing them to control my mind." Surprised, the man asked, "But what if they insult you, provoke you, attack you?" The master smiled and said, "Then I prove I am the master of myself, not the servant of their words." This is the essence of true strength. It's not about overpowering others. It's about mastering your own inner world. Because if you conquer everything on the outside, but lose control on the inside, what have you really achieved? You might win arguments, you might silence people. But if you can't silence the storm within, you are still a prisoner. Now, what does self-mastery look like in daily life? It looks like patience when you feel like exploding. It looks like forgiveness when your heart wants revenge. It looks like peace when everything around you is chaos. It looks like choosing kindness when cruelty would be easier. It looks like walking away from drama instead of being sucked into it. Self-mastery doesn't mean you don't feel emotions. It means you don't let emotions control you. Let's be honest, mastering yourself isn't easy. Our ego always wants the last word. Our pride always wants to win. Our insecurities always want validation. And when people push our buttons, these parts of us flare up quickly. But every time you resist that pull, every time you choose calmness over chaos, you strengthen your inner muscles. Just like physical muscles grow through resistance, your spiritual muscles grow when you resist the urge to react. The problem is, we spend so much time trying to fix others instead of fixing ourselves. We say, "If only they changed, I'd be happy. If only they stopped, I'd be at peace. If only they understood me, I'd feel loved." But what if they never change? Are you going to put your happiness on hold forever? Mastery means saying, "Even if they don't change, I will not lose my peace. Even if they don't understand me, I will not lose myself. Even if they don't treat me right, I will not let bitterness control me." That doesn't mean you allow mistreatment. It means you set boundaries from a place of strength, not from a place of reaction. You choose your environment wisely. You walk away when you need to, not because you're weak, but because you value your peace. That's mastery. There's a powerful saying, if you conquer yourself, you can conquer the world. Most people misunderstand this. They think conquering the world means controlling others, gaining power, dominating. But the greatest conquest is not outside, it's inside, because when you master yourself, no insult can break you, no failure can destroy you, no challenge can defeat you. You remain steady, unshaken, grounded, and that is what makes you unbreakable. Think of a thermostat versus a thermometer. A thermometer simply reflects the temperature around it. If it's hot, it goes up. If it's cold, it goes down. It has no control, it just reacts. But a thermostat sets the temperature. It influences the environment rather than being controlled by it. Most people live like thermometers. They change with people's moods, opinions, and actions. But the one who has mastered themselves lives like a thermostat. They decide their peace, their joy, their attitude, regardless of what others do. Let me ask you, are you a thermometer or a thermostat? Do you get pulled into other people's storms? Or do you carry your calm into every situation? Do you let people dictate your mood, or do you decide it yourself? Because mastery means becoming a thermostat, steady, intentional, in control of yourself. Now, how do we begin this journey of self-mastery? It starts with awareness. You must notice your triggers. Who or what makes you lose your peace? What situations make you react impulsively? Once you know your triggers, you can prepare for them. You can pause before you react. You can remind yourself, this is not about them, it's about me mastering me. The second step is practice. No one masters themselves overnight. Just like an athlete trains daily, you must train your mind daily. Start with small victories. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Instead of yelling, take a breath. Someone ignores your text. Instead of assuming the worst, choose patience. These small acts of mastery build into greater strength over time. And the third step is purpose. When you live with a clear sense of who you are and what you stand for, it becomes easier to master yourself. You no longer chase validation because you know your worth. You no longer waste energy on drama because you know your purpose. A clear purpose steadies the mind and strengthens the heart. Let me give you an image. Imagine a tree standing tall in the middle of a storm. The wind howls, the rain pours, the storm rages. But the tree does not run. It does not argue with the wind. It does not complain. It stands rooted. Why? Because its strength is in its roots, not in the weather. Mastery is like that. When you are deeply rooted in self-control, no storm of words, no storm of circumstances can uproot you. You bend, but you do not break. You sway, but you do not fall. And here's the irony. When you stop trying to control others and master yourself instead, you actually influence people more. Because your calmness disarms their anger. Your patience softens their hostility. Your steadiness inspires their respect. Influence doesn't come from control, it comes from example. When you master yourself, you become a light for others without even trying. At the end of the day, ask yourself, who do you really want to master? Others or yourself? Because if you spend your life trying to control others, you'll always be frustrated. But if you spend your life mastering yourself, you'll always be free. So the next time you feel pulled to react, remind yourself, this is my test. This is my training. This is my chance to prove that I am the master of me. And in that moment, choose peace over reaction, patience over pride, wisdom over impulse. Because the one who conquers others may look strong, but the one who conquers themselves is truly unshakable. And that is the greatest victory you can ever achieve.